All right, all right, all right. We're going to do this live because it's just going to save me some time. Let's get started right away. Welcome, by the way, to Packernet After Dark. If you'd like to call in, please feel free to do so. The phone number here is 608-501-0718. I'm not going to answer it live on the show if that's what you're wondering. You'll go to a voicemail. You can leave a message. No big deal. New callers always go to the front of the line. We haven't had one in a while. Hoping to get one pretty soon here. Why don't we go ahead and just get started? Why won't you minimize, you dummy? All right, looks like everything's fine. By the way, if there's any issues with the audio, please let me know as soon as possible. It always takes somebody 15 minutes before they're finally like, hey, your audio's jacked up, at which point we're 15 minutes into the show. All right, let's get started with Devin.
Hey, Ryan, this is Nevin from Iowa.
Nevin,
I was
crap.
just listening to your podcast from
All this
today,
work.
and
I
you were
put Devin
talking
on
about
the
the standing room, and
It's
I've
Nevin.
been doing that for a few years now. It's actually a pretty sweet setup. It's along the, like just above, the section is just above the lower bowl, and it's across the entire south end zone. They only sell like 200 tickets total
Thanks,
of
United
those,
Mates.
and you get a designated spot. It's like too deep. So like for my wife's only like 5'2".
Yeah.
So she'll stand in front of me in the one spot, and I take the other one. So there's nobody really standing in front of you. You have a covering over you, so if it's raining, snowing, whatever, you're completely blocked from the elements. You also get, like, the section has its, like, own bathroom and own concessions, bar, everything.
Money.
So you're only, of a section of 200 people, there's, like, no wait for anything.
Money.
So as game experience, view-wise, I like the view. And you obviously can't beat the price either for going to a game. So if you get a chance to go, I highly recommend it. Bye.
Yeah, so for context, I had mentioned that the Packers are offering standing room for like $90 or something crazy. And I was just saying, I don't know why it's cheaper, because I would pay extra for that. It's like, I don't want to sit on those stupid bleachers. I mean, I understand they're historic. I'm sorry, whatever. I don't want to sit on the stupid bleachers smashed into between a bunch of strangers where people shush me and tell me to sit down and everything. No, I'm going to go stand. And I'm going to do whatever I want, and I'm going to scream and yell and stand up and jump, and I can have my own vantage point of the view and run to the bathroom, run back. I mean, it's just, I would so much rather just stand in a standing room area. And again, it's like, well, you don't get as good of seats or whatever. Okay, you pay $400 for seats that are that for a view that's not as good as the TV at your house. If that's the way you want to play it for a good view, that's fine. So yeah, I appreciate that, and like I said, that is the way that I would choose to go if I went, and I am borderline tempted to get some standing room only just to go experience that, because that actually sounds somewhat appealing. All right, let's see if I got this name right. This is Garrett from Southern Illinois.
Hey, Ryan, it's Garrett from Southern Illinois.
Hey.
The dust has pretty much settled on all this 50-man roster stuff and all the shuffling and trading and waving and good grief. This is one of those years where it's like, this was the toughest prediction for 53. And it was also the most agonizing to see players that we released go to other teams.
Yeah.
I know that we haven't seen any production on the field per se in a regular season, but when a guy finally starts, like the light bulb goes off and Johnson starts playing good and Dubose is starting to flash a little bit, and I don't know, even Welsh, you hate to see guys that made a contribution go to another team. I understand that's just how the ball bounces. And as we know, football doesn't bounce very good. It's very unpredictable, and 53-man roster this year was extremely unpredictable and heartbreaking. So I hate to see Pratt go. I hate to see Toure go to the Bears. I mean, what on earth is happening?
Bears got worse.
And then to go and trade for Malik Willis and get another kicker? What happened to draft and develop?
Yeah.
I guess, like I said, the patience of Goody has worn thin, and he's cutting and kicking, and I just don't know what's going on. but it is a lot of movement. We got used to how Thompson did things, and Beauty is by far a mover and a shaker. So let's just hope they make the right decisions, that we got a steady kicker, and we move forward with a stable roster. So I did see that Detroit is happy about their new wide receiver signing, Allen Robinson. If that's the case, maybe we ought to go sign Sebastian Janikowski as kicker, if that's how it's going to be played. So it is what it is. I'm ready for football to start. We're 1 week out.
Yeah, man.
Looking forward to hearing Pedro calling in.
He does, by the way.
Unless that's something he's not comfortable doing on an overseas phone. We'll see. I'm out.
We'll see if we get to Pedro today. I didn't get an image of him. I was generating images for everybody, and then I was like, oh, crap, it's 9:15. I got to get this thing started. So we got a couple images up here. We'll do with what we can, and I'll just end up trying to save these. Let me offer you some consolation or some easing of the mind, because I more or less agree with all that. I've kind of done my pouting about the same situation, so I'm not trying to act like I disagree necessarily. The first one I've already mentioned. I mean, it obviously speaks to a development or a what the heck am I trying to think of? Something of riches. I don't freaking know, man. I can't think. It's a long day. Embarrassment of riches? Why do I feel like that's the thing? It doesn't sound like that's the thing. We have a lot of good players, and so we lost some players. Here's the other way of looking at it, though. Genuinely tell me who it is you believe is going to be the best of that group, and how good are they going to be? Is Pratt going to ever be a top 10 quarterback? Is Anthony Johnson Jr. ever going to be a top 32 safety? Is Welch ever going to be a starter for a football team? At worst, I genuinely think we maybe lost players that are going to be better than the players we currently have on the practice squad, which makes sense, right? Because they didn't make it back to the practice squad for a reason. And even that is a maybe. There's a slight chance that one of these guys, not Toure, goes on to have some kind of a great career. Is DeBose genuinely going to be a thing? No, he's not. DeBose is not going to go on to be a top 32, a top 64 wide receiver. He's not. It's not going to happen. It was cool having him. He did some good things. And, of course, wish the best for him and all that, but we didn't. It's regular season time. And that's why I keep saying we got to shift our focus to regular season. Because in the off season, everything's about the DeBoses and the Toures and the, all that nonsense. That's done. Now we need to focus on the Reeds and the Wickses and the Watsons and the Dobbses, not the DeBoses. I don't think we lost anything. The only real question comes down to kicker. We'll see. I think, at the end of the day, we can squabble about it. I think we all knew that Anders was going to cause us some heartburn. I don't know if we fixed it, but what we didn't do was decide to continue on with something that wasn't working. Now, maybe he would have eventually developed. Maybe it would have been a next year thing, whatever. Obviously, our GM said, congrats to all the patient GMs. I'm not playing that. We got a window. And if we're going to go the uncertainty route, then we might as well go the uncertainty route with somebody else that might actually be good. I don't know. Second string running back is a question now, too. Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly. Tyler said that off of Facebook. Thanks for joining in. Completely off of what you're talking about, because it just sparked something that I talked about on tomorrow's podcast. Something to think about. This upcoming game against the Eagles, Josh Jacobs, second string running back is a question, right? We've got a rookie in Marshawn Lloyd that hasn't really done anything. Packers aren't going to feel very comfortable, and they certainly don't seem to be very comfortable with, what's his name? I can't remember anything. You just got to know what I'm talking about. Emmanuel Wilson. They've never really felt super comfortable with him. He just continues to end up where he is because of injuries and everything else. Not saying that's a good thing. I love Emmanuel Wilson. You love Emmanuel Wilson. But anyways, the thought that I had is that they went out and got Josh Jacobs. The guy can handle a lot more carries. The Packers like that about him in particular. The beginning of the season, it's going to be a little shaky. You don't know if you're going to be able to get into a rhythm, especially against a supposedly good defense. We'll see if their defense is any good or not. The one thing that I think everybody expects to be bad, because it was really bad last year, run defense. So the offense maybe isn't getting into a rhythm as far as passing. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. You got a porous run defense, and you have a running back that's really talented, and nobody else behind him that you super feel comfortable with. I would not be surprised if they give the ball to Josh Jacobs 1,000 times and just let him smash into the Eagles defense over and over and over again. It's just a thought. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. Yeah, Tyler says Dylan out for the season. Lloyd is hurt. Lloyd was back today in practice, as far as I know, in full. He's ready to rock and roll. I think everybody on the team right now is actually healthy and ready to play. Matt LaFleur made a comment, this is the healthiest he's ever seen a team go into the season. Obviously not including the people on IR, but the actual people that are on the 53, not on the IR. Nobody really is on the, I think they're on the injury report, but they're all perfectly fine. So anyways, we're off the rails. That's the wrong show. Let's get to Garrett's second call here.
Fun fact. Will Levis lost his starting job to Clifford at Penn State. Malik Willis lost his starting job to Levis, Tennessee Titans. Don Clifford loses his second string backup job to Malik Willis. Oh, the cycle of life.
That is pretty funny. That's pretty crazy. Tyler asks, so Lloyd is the number 2? I don't know. I think so. I think he is. But I think generally the Packers are going to go into this with a number 1 and a bunch of hold your breaths. I think that they really want to lean on Marshawn Lloyd. You could tell it with the frustration in the coach's voice talking about the injuries, how much they really, really, really want him to be a part of the offense. But also, how much do you trust him in the offense right now? Maybe in week 1, it is more Emmanuel Wilson. I have no idea how that's going to shake out. That's why I said I think week 1, look to Josh Jacobs, maybe week 2 and beyond, they start to ease in Lloyd. I have no idea, but I genuinely think they really want to hammer Marshawn Lloyd eventually. How we doing on time here? Oh, we're 13 minutes already. All right, screw it. Let's take a break. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Hey Ryan, Steve up and laughing.
What's up, man?
Late in the night. Just got done looking over some Packer stuff. Actually sat down for the first time, really kind of looking at what the roster looked like. The 53 man. I'm really surprised by how heavy defense the roster is leaning. Maybe you got numbers on it and you talk about it by the time this comes on, but this is the heaviest defensive leaning roster that I've seen. As far as I remember, maybe again I'm wrong, but it's usually a pretty balanced and even roster, and if there's a slight lead, it goes to the offense. But this is a significantly heavily defensively laid offense. I'm interested to see if this is something to go with the fact that we have our new defensive coordinator, and if this is giving him an opportunity to really work some guys up. Now, what's on the practice squad? Maybe there's a very heavy offensive leaning practice squad, so that gives us a more of a equal team balance. But I think it's pretty interesting that this is a very heavy defensively laden squad right now, and we have this new defensive coordinator that we're very, very hyped and excited about having. However things go, man, I'm really stoked for week 1. I'd like to see how things. I just want to see how things go. I want to see how things happen, man. How do you explain it? How do you talk about it? It's week 1 of the season with this whole new team. I'm having trouble keeping up with all the names. There's so many different names. All the names are so new. I'm old enough to remember when the NFL was built of you got a team and that was your team, and new players and new names coming on were they had to be something to make it, make an impact. And here, look, man, this is a whole new deal. So let's see how it goes. I'm excited about it. I want to see how we play. So, got the new Packer gear coming. Splurged on myself. Now, let's go. 2024. Let's go, baby. Pack attack.
Yeah, man, I'm super stoked about this season. It's still one of those things I haven't been able to wrap my head around. Every once in a while, you just remember, and it just sends like a jolt of lightning through your body. Like, oh, what's happening this week? It's actually a thing. Super excited about it. As far as the 53, I don't know. I think it's 24 to 26 offense to defense. I could be wrong about that, but I think it's relatively close. And I think the lazy answer is, well, they just picked the best 53. Is there more consideration than that? And could it possibly have something to do with wanting to give the defensive coordinator something like they've talked about with the 6 edge rushers? It's certainly possible. It's hard to speculate what goes into the conversations. I think it's like anything else. Sound like Mike McCarthy now. I think it's like anything. They have their core principles of getting the best 53, but that's not as black and white as a lot of people will try to throw back in your face, right? Of course, it's not just the best 53. I mean, they're not going to carry 9 wide receivers if it happens to be a part of the best 53 or 6 quarterbacks or whatever. Like, there are other considerations. And so, yeah, I don't know what all went into that. Again, I think it's 24-26 offense defense, but I could be wrong about that. It certainly looks like more, just eyeballing it. But anyways, yeah, I mean, the defensive front is certainly loaded. Not very common to bring 6 edge rushers, but I'm real excited about it. Don't know a ton about Mosby, but I'm very excited that Brenton Cox is going to be a part of it. And then to have 5 interior guys on top of that, I mean, that's a lot of It's 11 defensive linemen that are going to be rotating in and out, along with your 5 linebackers, and it should be a really, really good group. Tyler says defense has a good chance to be special. Bullard, McKinney, Alexander, Stokes had a terrific camp. He did have a pretty good camp. Quay and Cooper in the middle. Gary, Smith, Van Ness, Clark, Wyatt. I'm expecting big things. Cooper, Cooper's interesting if you've been following super closely, which probably not too many people have. I was very out on Cooper in college at first, just my first initial walkthrough. On my second, more like, closer look at the players and prospects, it really clicked and I understood Cooper. And there were a couple plays that really illustrated his talent, and he shot up to be my number 1 linebacker. So I was very excited that we got him. And Cooper's interesting because he hasn't practiced very much. He's been dealing with injuries as well. He's another guy, presumably, that is back and healthy. I didn't hear anything about him in practice. Everything was about Marshawn Lloyd being healthy, but I believe everybody's healthy, and that would include Cooper. The little bits that we heard about Cooper were very positive. And again, I don't know how much they're going to ease him back in. If this was kind of old school Packers, even like early LaFleur, where you're talking, 29. I mean, it seemed like when Rodgers was here, I don't know how much influence he put on it, but there seemed to be a philosophy of we don't like the young guys. And I don't know if it's because I forget what year it was, they were forced to put young guys in and they realized it worked, that changed the philosophy, or if it was moving on from Rodgers that changed the philosophy or what. They seem more willing to push young guys into those positions. So I don't know if they're going to kind of, I don't want to say redshirt, but ease in some of these guys like Marshawn Lloyd and Edgerrin Cooper, or if they're going to throw them into the fire. But I kind of hope for throwing them into the fire, because the sooner we can get them up to speed, and the sooner we can, even if there's a couple bumps along the way, get that full potential out of them, I think the better. So I'm very hopeful. I know they really like McDuffie, which is fine. I don't have any issue with that. I like McDuffie too. But if you got 3 linebackers, I'm hoping that Cooper is the other one. We'll see how that all pans out. But yeah, I'm definitely excited about these guys. Excited about Van Ness. I think he had a really good camp as well, so I'm hoping he can continue that. Wyatt, I have probably the highest expectations for of anybody on the team. Adam's having a good time. Prince Capsaicin in the house says Kamal Haddon and Omar Brown added to King and Rochelle on the practice squad is an interesting bunch of DBs. Haddon taken 43. Haddon was a 6th round pick, so he wouldn't have been taken 43. 43 picks ahead of King. Oh, okay. By Kansas City, has good size. Yeah, and it makes you think. I mean, it's always interesting. I would love to know how these things go, because I feel like Gutekunst is he's just going out like a kid in a candy shop, getting all these guys that he kind of had a crush on, like Haddon and Dillard, and everybody else becomes available. And it's like, yeah, but they were let go because they were bad. And it's like, yeah, but they might not be bad. Like, what if they're good? Like, what if we make them good? Haddon was kind of compared to the AJJ situation where, I mean, you got a 6th round pick. For those that don't know, the Chiefs picked him up in the 6th round. He only played, I think, 22 snaps in the preseason, so they didn't get a very good look at him. He got better every single week, although his final week, which is his grade was in the 70s. I think he played 4 snaps. But yeah, they let him go. Didn't even try to bring him back on the practice squad, and the Packers capitalized on it. Haddon is even fresh in probably a lot of our minds just from the draft, which wasn't that long ago. Packers are going to bring him in. I mean, it could be one of those things they realize within a week that he's no good. He gets dropped, and we pick somebody else up. That does happen. But it would be fun to have him in there with King, especially. King I have very high expectations for, and see what these guys can develop into. Tyler says Hopper flashed in preseason too. Yeah, that's another one. I mean, I'll be honest. I would kind of hope Cooper, Edgerrin Cooper, and Hopper end up taking over at some point. As much as I do like McDuffie, I think his ceiling is kind of where it is, and it would be nice if some other guys can kind of take over that. And that's kind of the thing, Adam. Can McDuffie cover? McDuffie is certainly a better run defender than anything else. I don't think he's very much a cover guy, and I think with the 4-3, maybe they can make it so that it's less of a responsibility for McDuffie. I don't really know how they're going to sort that out. We'll have to see. But either way, I don't think he has the well-rounded skill set that you have. I mean, look, they went out and got specific linebackers, and I think Tyron Hopper has the athletic profile that really nobody else has, and so they'd like to use him in a specific role, and same with Edgerrin Cooper and Quay Walker. I mean, these guys have really high athletic ceilings, so it'll be really interesting to see what they'll be able to bring. Capsaicin says McDuffie in contract year, so the more looks they get of Cooper and Hopper will aid in making decisions at the end of the year. I think that's true. And again, it does feel like they've had a change of philosophy at some point of we want to push these guys out there and see what they can do. So, let's do another one. Here is Jesse.
Hello, Ryan. Hope you're well. You've been playing a lot with AI. You've been making a lot of songs. I don't know if video is your thing, but I just thought something would be really funny to make, and I don't know. I don't ever use AI, so I don't know. Just giving you something that you might find fun. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Dodgeball. I hope you have. Pretty
movie what?
But there's a part where the White Goodman gets goes to a bar and introduces his triple cobras. Mm-hmm. And, there's a lady that's really, really good that he hired. And it just so happens that I can't remember the main character's name, is his last name's LaFleur. Mm-hmm. I just thought it'd be kind of funny if, it was like the Bears coming in, head coach, introducing his players, and then Caleb Williams comes around as a nice shiny object, and I just thought it'd be a fun scene to see if maybe AI can redo something there, put some faces or something. Just a thought. Anyways, hope you have a good day.
We got to do something with that. So as far as the music, the video, I think AI is going to kind of edge into that. It maybe has somewhere, somehow. I haven't seen that as much. I mean, there's a lot of video generation as opposed to video editing, although I think that would be kind of a cool thing that eventually will come up. In other words, I'll be able to go into an image program and kind of talk through and like put his face over this guy's face, and it'll track it all the way through, so I don't have to know how to do that and do all the... It's very tedious. That's the other thing I hate about video editing and all that kind of stuff is a super tedious work, and I'm just not built for that. I want, like when I did landscaping, my favorite thing was sod, man, because you just lay that out and the transformation is so fast. I love it. I mean, there was a lot of prep work and everything, but yeah, I hate doing tedious crap. It's really not my thing. But anyways, I think about with the music, I do have the ability to add in some clips. I wish there was a way to layer it where I give like a beat and then it'll come in under it. It's kind of has to be next to each other, but I could still have like that clip of him saying like "Suck it, LaFleur," and then you pop in the thing. I think that would be funny. I think we can maybe do something with that. Packers Total Access Clayton says, "Am I the only one craving wings after seeing that huge beer in Jesse's hands?" Oh, I just let the robot do his thing, man. I gave some whatever details I have. Most of these guys, I don't have very much. I have their name and either where they told me they're from, or I just look up their area code and assume they're in that same area. But it's like, Jesse, I don't know much, man. I know he's from Oregon. And they're like, oh, okay, let's put him in the woods holding a 40-pound beer somehow magically affixed to his hand. If you're not seeing it on YouTube, you should check that out. I'm trying to get some AI images to go along with these calls for some added entertainment. Speaking of AI, but yeah, I'll have to work on that song. I'm not gonna do it tonight because it's getting kind of late, but I will check it out. Why don't we take our second break? Unfortunately, I only have one more image generated, so I feel bad for some of the other guys. We'll have to get Pedro done. I don't want to do it live necessarily. Maybe I'll try it. Maybe we'll try to do it live. I don't know. But we'll take a break. We'll come back and hear from a man that I go by, I call Bramble, even though that is absolutely not his name. I know he hangs out in here. I don't know if Bramble's in the house or not, but we'll take a break, and we'll be right back.
Hey, Pack Daddy, getting ready for the season to come up. Haven't called in a while, so just listening to your struggles with Packernet After Dark here and your tech issues, maybe away from the free stuff a little bit. However,
so on that point, to be fair, I did actually get away from the free stuff. The last thing I used, I did pay for. It seemed to be working for a while, and then it just didn't work. The thing that I don't like about a lot of the paid stuff, it's way too complex. I don't need all this crap. There's so many settings. Like, I have to do research to figure out how to just freaking record. Like, what is all the, like, the audio engineering stuff is hardcore. I don't need anything. I just need to be able to push record, and it records my voice, and that's it. And I don't want to have to spend, $200 to download this program, and it's just, there's so much stuff in there. I don't know. I think this is working. We'll see. I'm not sure. Anyways, please continue. I thought you were going to say maybe you should hang it up or something. Bramble does not mince words, so I was like, oh, this is going to sting, whatever he says.
Middle of the guy calling and ranting and raving about the ticket. I wanted to give another tip out there. If you are a veteran or active service member, and you have your account or your service verified through ID.me. ID.me has a discount
ID.me,
that's very comparable to the student.
That's what I was trying to think of. I was like, I know that there's a way. That's how I got the discount on the thing. Anyways, working for the federal government. ID.me is the thing I was thinking of. But I figured I didn't need to think of it because if you're a veteran, you know about ID.me.
Sunday ticket. So I actually just got signed up for that. Don't remember how much it was, honestly, but I saw the price and I jumped at it immediately. So it's a pretty good deal. On the kicker, I'm really uncertain about what's going to happen. Of course, in my opinion, we just went back to the beginning of last year by bringing on another rookie that we don't know about. So I would love it if we got lucky. I would love to be able to say that I was wrong, but I know that if we do this again next year, I'm going to feel the exact same way, and I'm not going to feel like we're going to get lucky. So I don't know. Feelings kind of suck sometimes.
I get that.
But
so I got to stuff them down.
They're not your problem or anybody else's. All right. Go Pack, go. Can't wait for the season. Speaking about shit, I just thought about it. I'm going to have to sign up for Peacock for the month, but I don't know. My wife loves The Office, so I could tell her it was her birthday.
There you go. There you go. That's how you do it.
Anywho, go Pack go. Talk to you guys later.
It's always funny too when you do stuff like that. You buy your wife something that you also are gonna love. Like, it's great for her, but you're also gonna love it because you tell your wife, like, "Oh, I got you this so you can watch The Office. I know you love The Office." And 30 seconds later, you're gonna turn on the Packer game on Peacock, and she's gonna know that you're full of crap. Oh, but you know what? It's still a thoughtful gift. Anyways, the man we've all been waiting to hear from, and I was able to generate this while you were talking. Here we go. Pedro in Brazil. I'm glad to finally hear from you. What's going on, Pedro?
Hey, Ryan, it's me, man. Pedro from Brazil.
What's up?
So, long time no see, huh? I've been calling less lately, but now that the football season's going to start, I'm back. And I'm excited, and 1 week I'm going to see the Packers live, man.
Let's go.
I just can't wait. So, yeah, I'm just listening here to the latest Pack After Dark show. You were talking about the wildfires in Brazil. I mean, that's absolutely not an issue for the game.
Okay.
It's not that close. So,
good.
yeah, the air quality is not, like, the best right now, but if I'm being honest, if you're not into the news, you're not even noticing because it's pretty far, so really not an issue.
And we had that out here for a while too. I remember it was like Canadian. Remember when like all of Canada was on fire? I remember seeing a map of the Canadian wildfires, and it's like, oh, that's just all of Canada. That's crazy. But yeah, it was like orange in Wisconsin. It was nuts. But yeah, it was not a big. It's not like you walk outside and you just drop to your knees and it's like, I think I'm gonna die. Like in a video game where you just start taking like HP damage or whatever. It's just, you're good.
100% confirmed the game will happen, and it will be awesome. So, yeah, man, I'm just excited, and I'll be calling you much more right now, okay? So, yeah, let's go. Go Pack, go!
Awesome, man. Well, I'm glad to hear from you. It's been a while. I always start to get nervous when I don't hear from people. Honestly, my biggest fear, not that anything happened to you or anything. I mean, of course, there's wildfires, so you never know, but my biggest thing is like, did I piss him off or something? Like, did I say something? You never know. I mean, every once in a while you get a message or somebody leaves Patreon. They're just like, he effing sucks. I'm like, whoa, what? Let me know if I did something wrong. I'm sorry. But no, it's good to hear from you. I'm glad the season's back. A lot of people are starting to come back into the fold. Got a lot of callers we haven't heard from in a while. So I am very excited. We only got 3 more. Let's see if we can get through this, and let's see if I can generate the images fast enough to keep these going. Next up, we got a man that I definitely enjoy hearing from. On the line, caller number 5.
Why, hello, Pack Daddy. This is caller number 5, calling in once again. Took the off season to, do nothing. And now we're back. It's time for the season. Long time since I've called in.
Yeah,
I wanted to ask, I have a couple of bets going that I was curious which one you thought would hit of the 3. Actually, let's do 4 because there's a fun one in there. So here are the bets that I have that are Packers bets. So I have Jordan Love to win MVP, Jordan Love most passing touchdowns, Matt LaFleur Coach of the Year, and the adjacent Packers one is Aaron Rodgers Comeback Player of the Year. Of those 4 bets, which one do you think is the most likely to hit? Looking forward to another great season. We're going to the Super Bowl. Blessings.
I think the first 2, in my opinion, are easy. The most obvious is Aaron Rodgers' comeback. He just has to stay healthy and be halfway decent, and he's going to be somewhat carried by that defense and everything else. That one feels easy. I think the second most obvious one would be Jordan Love touchdowns. I think he dominated touchdowns in that second half of the year. He was really, really good at it. Now, you could say that if he's dominating, MVP is right there, and he doesn't necessarily need. Fair enough, but MVP is I don't know. It's going to be hard to beat the name recognition of some of the other guys. If Lamar has a good year, if Mahomes has a good year, if CJ Stroud has a good year, it's going to be easy to want to put those guys in there. And And then after that, yeah, I guess it would be MVP, and then last would be Coach of the Year, only because it just seems like he's never going to get his flowers. Just laughing at these pictures I'm generating. We got to go with the ice fishing one. So that would be not only the best bet, in my opinion, but in order. Aaron Rodgers comeback, Jordan Love touchdowns, Jordan Love MVP, and then Matt LaFleur Coach of the Year, which is never, ever, ever, ever going to actually happen. All right, next up, here we go. On the line is Randy in Minnesota.
Hi, Ryan. Randy from Minnesota.
What's up, man?
Yeah, my phone call got missed. Not a big deal from Sunday or Monday, I guess. But my main thing I want to talk about was let people know that when I signed up for Peacock Channel, that there is actually, if you're a veteran or active duty, there is a discount where you can get Peacock for half price. Very simple.
Did this one get skipped, or did we talk about it? We must have talked about it because somebody commented on it, unless I just talked about it, assuming somebody heard it, but again, I don't know. I'm going to let them finish.
Process. They basically take a picture of your DD-214. They verify that you're an honorably discharged veteran or you're in service, and you get it for half price. So it makes getting Peacock a whole lot, cheaper. So that was the only thing I really wanted to talk about, and I'm so pumped for the season. Go Pack, go. Have a good day. Bye.
I'm doing a thing right now, so I don't know if you can sit on my lap. I'm almost done, though. We got one more caller, okay? Yeah, so I think we did talk about that a little bit. Yeah, if you are a veteran, be sure to check that out. It's relatively cheap anyways, but I would certainly encourage you to do so if you are a veteran. And again, check on that. I shouldn't say again. It's probably fake, but check it out first. I think on TMJ4, somebody posted on Facebook, and then my wife sent it to me, that you can actually watch it on TMJ4, like on their website, so you don't need to use Peacock. Again, probably fake. I need these on my head, actually. Thank you very much. But anyways, because I don't think I'm going to be able to do this much longer, we got one more call from a man. Do not do that. Trucker Bob. Trucker Bob, take it away.
Hey, Ryan. This is Trucker Bob. I was listening to your show, and I talked about painting your nails. And I thought, man, what a great idea. I could see you coming on the air going, this is Nails from Packernet After Dark. What a nickname. I think it'll be great. Nails. Think about it. Nails. Yeah, I like that idea. Trucker Bob out.
You want to put him on? Here, you put him on because he's done talking. So you want me to go by the name Nails? I could do that. Should I be called Nails or Pack Daddy or Dad or what?
Nails.
Nails. Okay, well, there you go. Brinley says I should be Nails as well. I suppose it's not worse than Pack Daddy, I guess. I should probably get out of here. Things have completely gone on derail. I don't want to eat that, actually. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'm going to get out of here. This one just woke up from a nap and is having a ball. You guys have a good rest of your night. I will talk to you later. Thanks for your calls. Make sure you call in 608-501-0718. New callers go directly to the front of the line. Have a good day. Bye.